Alright, here's a quick update. Sorry about the background noise on the torpedo heater. It's cold in here. Here's the finished fender well. Not finished, but in rough form. What I decided to do was get a piece of square tube and cut a hole along it, along the top of it. Let's see if I can get some better light here. There we go. Put some square stock tube in here to stiffen it up a little bit on the bottom. And also welded two stainless steel mounting brackets to it. I still gotta clean this all up. So that way the fender well can be unbolted from the floorboard. Be a little bit easier to put it in and out. There's one there, and there's one there. So now this is nice and strong. You see how the angle, I came in a little short right here. There's a little bit of a gap here. So on the other side, I gotta make sure I double check the outside bend a little bit, come up just a little bit more with it. I was actually right, I had it correct. And rather than checking it again for another time, I had it welded right there, and I should have waited. I should have checked it and moved this up a little bit more before I welded it, had it welded across here. So that's not bad though, because what I'm doing is along these seams here, everywhere where there's a seam, along here, across the bottom, and all the way up top here, I'm gonna get some like a door for car door jams. They have this. They have the seal that goes around a car door jam or around a trunk lid. They have them in a salvage yard. I have a bunch of that material. I'm gonna put some of that the seal along the bottom of this, everywhere, all the way around there. That way I can have this cab completely and sealed and enclosed eventually when I do put heat in here. That'll be another whole video, but I'm gonna make heat for this too. I got an old radiator and a heater box from a Elgin street sweeper. So I'm gonna run the antifreeze lines up here with the little unit up underneath the dash. And we'll have great heat in this thing too, since it's going to Maine. Anyway, yeah, I just want to have a quick update on this. This is the finished piece. I think it came out great. Once this is all PO'd, painted in, it's gonna look great. All the nice new seals around here, it'll look factory, you know. Actually better than factory. So I guess that's about it for right now. I am using the old floorboard. It's a little rusty, but it ain't rotted. So once I clean this up and, like I said, POR the top and bottom, it'll be fine. It'll match up. But that square tubing around the bottom, it makes a big difference. It definitely, well, it gives you a little bit more of an area to weld to also for when you're making the mountain tabs here. And don't mind these screws also, please, because these screws are all in here. It's just what I had laying around temporarily. Those screws aren't staying. They're all going to be 6mm and 10mm nuts and bolts like this. Let me show you. I got to get some more of them. I'm going to put these clips in everywhere. These clips will be everywhere here and up on top and also on the floorboard. So that I can use these 10mm bolts. Everything will be uniform. You know, you don't want to mix mash stuff. That's kind of gaff. And I could put some copper anti-seize on all these, since these will be exposed. The bottom of the threads will be exposed. Actually, they won't be. The skid plate will be covering them. But they'll still be outside of the unit, so I'm going to put some anti-seize on there. I just basically wanted to show you how the angles came out. They matched up very well, except for that little gap on the top. But this stuff, the sealer will fix that. You know, came out good on the sides here. There's no space. And up top here, I don't like the looks of it because it's up on an angle. This is on an angle a little bit, which really isn't a big deal, but it bothers me. So I'm gonna put a straight edge and cut this so it's straight across. But other than that, that's not that bad. I would consider for the first one ever. You know? No more bad fender well. It takes a lot of work to, it's a lot of time consuming. It took me a whole day. I already had this built. It took me a whole day to get it this far because you're dealing with so many pieces that have to match up. The floor has to match up to the outside. Then the outside and the floor have to match up to the fender well, this is the whole jam in the fender well. That has to match up to all of these angles. Also has to match up to the top of this so you have enough material here to bolt through. And then also has to match up here on this angle. So there's a lot going on. It doesn't look that complicated, but there is a lot going on at the same time, especially when you only have two hands. I hope you can hear all this with that stupid noise in the background. Anyway, that's where we are on the passenger side. It's buttoned up here. I gotta go to the driver's side. Once I'm done with the driver's side, I can give it a final what for, clean it all up and POR everything. It'll look really nice then. Then I'm gonna have some insulated mat here on the floor as well. I also have the piece to fix here. This is a new piece of angle line going in there as well. Anyway, here is the old floor section. So as you can see, I had nothing to go by for measurements as far as that. I had to leave everything big and then cut it down. This thing is junk and shot. There's the driver's side. Here's the driver's side. See, it's one piece. Somebody just riveted it. That's been obviously patched up before. I like to make it two pieces. That way it can unbolt and bolt in. I was gonna actually weld it. Have it welded anyway, right across here. But I figured two pieces is good. There's nothing wrong with that. Plus I can seal it nice. Here's the raw piece right here, still in the rough. But that was fairly easy. That bends down obviously. I can't show you with one hand, but that will bend down and weld together. This is long. I can cut that to the right length. And obviously this goes right there. I have to form this section still. It's not bad, that's just a straight cut with a couple bends. But there you go, there's your dinner. See you on the next one.